Howdy out there, everyone. Today we're going to take a quick look at this Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray release of Showgirls, a 1995 cinematic romp through, some of the most debauched ground ever mined in a mainstream Hollywood production. Of course, this was directed by Paul Verhoeven, who most famously directed RoboCop, Total Recall, and Starship Troopers. This film came out after Basic Instinct, which is another one of his more famous films. And at the time, people were really saying, look, this may be something here, because Verhoeven has such a unique cinematic voice and a pretty dark and twisted sense of humor. So there was actual buzz around the film. And of course, this was, an NC-17 film, featuring, the actress who played in Saved by the Bell, and Gina Gershon, and suffice to say, Elizabeth Berkley rather, and suffice to say, the movie delivered, but not in the way that I think originally was intended. It has gone on to live in infamy at many midnight screenings, and is a movie that is generally regarded as one of the most fun and trashy films ever made. And I would suggest you kind of go in knowing that it's uneven as hell. It has Kyle MacLachlan in it, and again, Gina Gershon, and it seemed like at least Gina Gershon was in on the joke. I'm not sure that Elizabeth Berkley was, and I know she took a lot of flack for making this film, and there's an actual documentary here about, among other things, sort of the legacy of Showgirls, but it goes into detail about sort of the hit that Elizabeth Berkley took after the film, which was kind of sad, because look, she was trying to, do her best, but I don't think she had the same sort of ease in front of the camera that someone like a Gina Gershon or even a Kyle MacLachlan did. I mean, I just felt as though they knew they were in a movie that was pretty trashy and terrible. So it's a movie that's sort of all over the place, but is absolutely worth a watch. And I will tell you, when I saw this film opening weekend in a college art house movie theater, it was one of the most enjoyable times I've ever had at a theater. I mean, it was filled with 18 to 25-year-olds, probably 70-30 men to women, maybe 80-20. And it was the perfect audience to see this movie. And everyone seemed to have a good time. Obviously, people weren't taking it too seriously. And like I said, it wasn't a movie that necessarily wowed you with, incredible screenwriting. Joe Esterhazy actually wrote the script. And, I think that it's not a good movie, but inexplicably, almost paradoxically, it is a good time in terms of watching it and sort of taking in all of its trashiness. And I think that's largely due to the combination of Verhoeven and Gina Gershon, and even Kyle MacLachlan, who I think is quite terrific in this. Now, this release is based on a new restoration, I want to say from like 2016. And it looks great. I know Vinegar Syndrome has recently given it a 4K release, but I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe it's the same restoration. It's just been put on a 4K HDR disc. And again, this is a region free, even though it does say region B, it plays perfectly fine in a region A Blu-ray player. So the PQ and AQ are very good, and it has some really interesting supplemental features as well that make this an easy pickup. Now, I actually found this thing used for about $10, so I was, of course, immediately enticed to pick it up. And I threw it in and watched it, and I can say that it holds up in all the right places, so to speak. Definitely a movie worth watching, and if you like camp the way I do, I think that seeking out this release is definitely the way to go. The Vinegar Syndrome release, I believe, is now out of print, and I think fetches a pretty tidy sum. So I'm here to tell you that this one is perfectly fine and looks quite good, in fact. So on that note, we'll just leave it at that. I hope everyone out there is well. Please do take care, stay safe, and by all means, keep watching good cinema.